Sorry, Sonia, you're muted.
Sorry about that, everyone. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody who's taken the time to join us from across the world today for this webinar. I'm just going to take a minute to introduce myself and the network and say a little bit about today's event and how it will run before we get straight into our first speaker. So for those of you who might not know me, my name is Sonia Jenkins and I am the WTUN Network Development Manager, and WTUN is the World Technology Universities Network, also known as WTUN. For those of you who don't know, WTUN is a network of over 20 technology universities from across the globe who are committed to undertaking challenge-led and cutting-edge research with direct benefits to people and society, and also aim to provide education for the next generation of global citizens who will have to respond to the world's 21st century challenges. Our objectives as a network include to promote better understanding of the role and the characteristics of technology universities across the world, to promote mobility and global citizenship opportunities, to collaborate on research and knowledge transfer to address global challenges, and to share best practice, which is exactly what we're doing here today. So we have lots of activities that go on around our network, and some of these include student and staff exchanges, collaborative research across members, competitions for students, and we also have an annual congress. But we also have specific work streams in the areas of innovation and entrepreneurship, gender equality within higher education, and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, each of which have their own set of activities. Now, we couldn't be a network that says they address the 21st century challenges and ignore the current global COVID-19 pandemic, which in some shape or form has affected all of our lives. It's because of COVID-19 that I'm currently working from my spare bedroom, and you all may be working in very different circumstances than what you're used to. Therefore, the network felt that it was very important that we address the current situation somehow, and through conversations with our operational board members, it became evident that a series of webinars showing how technology universities have worked through the current situation would be a good way to share best practice. So today's event is titled Technology Universities and Research During COVID-19, and I'm excited that we're delivering today's event with input from 3 of our founding members, Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science, University Technology Malaysia, and Heriot-Watt University. Technology universities pride themselves on their world-class research, and today we'll be looking at how this research has been affected or has changed due to the pandemic. So our first speaker today will be Dr. Dinakaran, who is a professor and the head of the Center for Automation and Robotics at Hindustan Institute of Science and Technology, and he will hopefully be joined on the panel by Associate Professor Dr. K from the School of Social Sciences from Heriot-Watt University at their campus in Malaysia, and Associate Professor Dr. Norhayati Abdullah, who is the Associate Director of the Office of UTM International at University Technology Malaysia. I hope you will all join me in welcoming them to today's event. So in terms of how the event will work, we'll hear from all of our panel members, hopefully, in turn, about their experiences at their institutions, and then there'll then be opportunities for questions to the panel at the end. However, you're able to type in your comments and questions throughout the entire event using the Q&A box at the side. So please do submit those as we go along, and we'll try to answer as many of them as we can at the end. So I'd like to start today's session by handing over to Dr. Dinakaran at Hindustan. Thank you very much. Dr. Dinakaran, you're good to go?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So, Vanakkam and hello everyone. I'm happy to meet all of you in the webinar on technology universities and research during COVID-19. I would like to thank World Technology Universities Network WTUN for organizing such an impressive webinar series to share and complement the research outcomes during COVID-19. Before proceeding my presentation on our research contributions during this pandemic, I would like to brief about our institution and our research center for a few seconds. Yeah, Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science is a renowned university in South India, Tamil Nadu, which is the state as supremely rich in Tamil and Dravidian culture and heritage. Hindustan is accredited with the A grade by the National Assessment and Accreditation Council and graded autonomy with category 2 by Ministry of Human Resource and Development, Government of India. It is ranked in 107th position in the National Institutional Ranking Framework and ranked in 300 to 350 slab by QS BRICS World Universities Ranking. So I'm from Center for Automation and Robotics of Hindustan University, and it is focusing on robotics, automation, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality technologies. The center has 4 sponsored industry research laboratories and has leading university partners, industry partners, Eshkava Robotics, SM Cinematics, and ACW Hero Drives. The center has many sponsored research projects supported by MTRDC, Defense Research and Development Organization, Naval Research Board, Royal Academy of Engineering UK, DST, and also doing many consultancy projects and product development related projects. This interdisciplinary team supports the graduate and postgraduate programs in mechatronics and robotics offered by the university. Now I would like to brief about the research and research at Robotics Center during this pandemic situation. In my well-considered opinion, the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the people's everyday routine will be written as after COVID-19 by the history. One side, the medical necessities are met by the global market, while on the other side, containment zones and boundaries mandate sustainable local clusters so to satisfy the day-to-day needs. To meet such requirements, the technology transformation will take a distinct shape which we never ever thought of. The intensity of this transformation which is going to happen can be compared with the revolutions which took place during Second World War. The pandemic needs supply at different levels for survival, which may lead to mixed global and local business models. And this opens up the research and development in all the domains. I would like to brief about 2 such products developed during this critical situation. One is the Tele Assistive robot that you are seeing here for isolation wards, and another one is the portable powered blower which can be readily retrofitted with PPEs. The Tele Assistive robot is named as Sevili, which is a Tamil name, and the meaning is the caretaker. Large number of doctors and nurses are playing a crucial role in the battle against COVID-19. In this course of humanitarian service, they are at high risk of exposure to the viral transmission and getting affected. One way of minimizing the spread is to reduce the frequency of closer interactions with affected patients in the isolation wards. So the goal of the project is to enable the remote consultation and remote service for the patients. Features of the Sevili. Sevili is capable of navigating to the isolation wards to deliver food, medication, and other necessities. It facilitates remote communication between the medical frontline and the quarantine patient through video audio. Navigation is achieved through the simple joystick, mobile app or desktop app, and the communication is through Wi-Fi. The specialty of this design is the product is modular, easy for maintenance, safe, and it is available at affordable price. This is one of the first of its kind low-cost Tele robot available at 1800 pounds that enables the hospital to readily implement this technology in the COVID-19 wards. The three modules of the Civili you are seeing here, one is the navigation, vision, and the communication modules that is integrated in such a way to achieve the goals that are fixed for this project. You are seeing the proof of concept. Initially we made this, and the proof of concept is demonstrated to the Minister of Health and Family Welfare Government of Tamil Nadu, and the same is demonstrated to the team of doctors at Rajiv Gandhi District Hospital, Chennai. And based on the feedback received from the doctors, we changed many of the features in the robot, and you are seeing the final version of the robot here. And the team headed by me, the team includes Professor Ramya and other research scholars and UG, PG students. And this is a robot you are seeing deployed at the COVID ward, and we are standing before the COVID-19 block. This is the testing of the robot in the Rajiv Gandhi Hospital. The nurse is operating the robot. It's very simple to operate. They are using a simple mobile app to move the robot inside the ward. So the nurse is interacting with the patient, and they're asking about the medications and then food and other necessities to him. So directly he can interact with the nurse, and in a similar way the teleconsultation with the doctors can also possible. Yeah, this is the testing, initial testing that we have done at government Rajiv Gandhi Hospital. After that, we made a few of the changes based on the recommendations of the doctors, and the 5 robots are developed and they are deployed at Rajiv Gandhi Hospital. The first robot is sponsored by Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science and deployed at Rajiv Gandhi Hospital, Chennai. And 4 more robots are deployed in isolation wards at RGGH. This initiative was supported by Renault Nissan. I would like to play the brief video on the media coverage while we introduce this robot to the hospitals.
And well, at a time when the world is battling the coronavirus, it is Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science that has developed a life-saving service robot, Civili, that is supporting the initiatives of controlling COVID-19. Take a look at this report.
In the course of humanitarian service, Hindustan Institute of Technology and Sciences has developed a fully functional life-saving robot, Civili, that translates to caretaker in Tamil.
Civili என்கிற சேவை ரோபோட்டை வந்து இன்றைக்கு அறிமுகம் செய்வதில் நாங்கள் மிகவும் மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறோம். இந்த ரோபோட் இந்துஸ்தான் பல்கலைக்கழகத்தால் வடிவமைத்து உருவாக்கப்பட்டது. இந்த திட்டத்துக்கு ரெனால்ட் நிசான் எங்களுக்கு துணையாக இருந்தார்கள். இந்த ரோபோட்டோட சிறப்பம்சம் பேஷண்ட்டுக்கு தேவையான உணவுப் பொருட்கள், மருந்து பொருட்கள் மற்றும் இதர தேவையான பொருட்களை வந்து பேஷண்ட்டு கொண்டு போய் கொடுக்கும். டாக்டர்ஸ், நர்சஸ் நேரடியாக பேஷண்ட் கூட போகாமல் வெளியிருந்தே அவர்களோட கம்யூனிகேட் பண்ண முடியும், அவங்களுக்கு அறிவுரை சொல்ல முடியும், மருந்து குறித்து அறிவுரைகளை அவர்கள் வழங்க முடியும்.
Supported by Renault and Nissan, Civili is claimed to be capable of navigating to the isolation ward, delivering food, medication and other necessities. Hindustan Institute of Technology deployed 4 such robots at isolation wards at Rajiv Gandhi Government Hospital in Chennai. Civili is the brainchild of Robotics Department of ANRO, led by Professor Dinakaran, head of the Center for Automation and Robotics, among other members including Professor M.M. Ramya.
Yeah. So then the second phase of the development, the robots are deployed at Chengalpattu Medical College Hospital, and you are seeing that we are receiving the appreciation letter from the district collector, and we have received the appreciation letter from the Minister of Health, State Government of Tamil Nadu. And you hear the feedback from the doctor who are using that robot in the hospitals.
So as we all know, in this corona crisis, we are facing very much patient's load, and it's a matter of profit contractor. So in this crisis stage, we welcome this innovative idea from our Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science, that is robotic nation, for the welfare of doctors, for the welfare of the people, and for the welfare of the whole community. We can, through video call, the patient, we can address the patient very clearly. So we can we can ask the queries from the patient, and we can put our questions, and we can put our queries to the patients also. Dr. Gautam working as a postgraduate.
The exposure is best for us. How easy it is to operate? Since it's a joystick method, it's very easy because we are used to these things. So yeah, we need to do some fine use, but within some 15 to a matter of half an hour, we can learn all this procedure. So it's.
Yeah, so this is about the first product. Just I brief for another 1 or 2 minutes about the second product that we have developed based on the request from the Chengalpattu Medical College Hospital. When we have deployed this robot, they asked this product to be developed for them. The second product that we have developed and the aim of this project is to provide a portable, affordable power air circulation unit for the comfortable breathing and can be readily retrofitted with the existing PPEs. The features of this product, this will provide filtered air circulation. This will avoid fogging and suffocation, thereby ensures comfort and visibility. This is a portable device, can be fixed in the belt, and this enables a better mobility. And you are seeing some of the photographs of testing the device at our laboratory and the hospital. After medical regulatory clearances, this robot, this particular product will be used in the hospitals. This is also suitable for the places where the users are exposed to contaminated air with harmful dust, fogs, etc. Finally, before concluding my presentation, I would like to say that this is an exciting experience for me and for my team to work in the project in the pandemic situation. We learned design for emergency, something exciting thing which has a higher level of interdisciplinary interactions between the product functions, means and properties. It gives us a very great level of satisfaction. The contributions of our research scholars, students of mechatronics program are commendable. A team of students have registered as a startup company at our Hindustan Business Incubator, and they are going to take forward the second product to the next level. At last, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our university for providing all the supports for us, and also thanks once again to WTUN for giving this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you. Hope that I can meet you in the QA session. Thank you.
I've done it again. Thank you so much, Dr. Dinakaran, for that.
Thank you.
It's really great to see just how quickly your department reacted to the current pandemic and just shifted gears so quickly. And we have worked with your department in the past. It's fantastic to see some of the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we're having a couple of technical issues with our other attendees. So what I'm actually going to do, Dr. Dinakaran, is we've actually had quite a few questions come in directly for you. So if that's okay, I'm going to put them to you straight.
Yes, yes.
If we're able to get our other speakers on after the questions, then we'll do that. And if not, I'm afraid we might have to postpone our other speakers until another day, which are just the joys of being flexible in this pandemic, I guess. So the first question that I'd like to go straight to is we've received, it says, how did the hospital staff adapt to the robots being on the wards?
Yeah, see, actually, initially when we thought of making such a kind of robot, we had this question in our mind. Then we thought that the robot should be easy to be operated by the hospital staff, or maybe a nurse or some other staff who are in the hospitals. Then we thought of bringing a very simple mechanisms for driving, like a mobile app we have provided to them. Then they find it some difficulties in gadgets. So then we thought of giving some joystick kind of arrangement for easy mobility that they operated easily. So we gave many of the options to them and they adapted it easily. Within 30 to 40 minutes, they learned and they are effectively using now in the hospitals. Yeah, it's all about how we are designing the systems for their requirements and how we are taking care of their feedback.
Brilliant, thank you.
Yeah.
And just carrying on from that as well, we've got a question here that says, how have the face masks been received by the medical staff and the people that need to wear them? Because they look great for long hours compared to a lot of other alternatives that are out there.
Yeah, actually, they are wearing that mask for long hours. That means we have seen that the second product that we have developed, it is a kind of PPE where the air circulation is very poor. And at present, they are using the oxygen regulators and supply that is available in the ICUs. What we thought is if we provide some portable air circulation unit like some powered blower that has easy to carry, that means the weight may be 500 to 250 grams to 500 grams, that is easy for the doctors to carry. So we have designed a portable device so that they are in the ICUs or in the isolation ward for 6 hours. Continuously, we can provide forced air circulation through that blower that we have designed, through the filters and then through the PPEs, so that they feel very comfortable. So we can avoid the fogging and suffocation effects. And continuously, they are using that. They are able to stay up to 6 hours in the COVID wards.
Brilliant, great.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of questions here about your original research as well. So it says, did your original research speed up and was it refocused as a consequence of the crisis?
Yeah, actually already we have the project that is funded by Royal Academy of Engineering UK and our collaborating industry here and in India and collaborating university at UK is University of Leeds. Already we are engaged in one of the projects that is for developing assistive robot for elderly patients. So initially we thought of developing some voice recognition both in English and Tamil, and then emotion reduction algorithms and how the robot can interact with the elderly patient and how that can help. That is the way we fixed our goal and we were working. So immediately when this problem came to us, when the first COVID case was reported in Kerala during the February, then we thought that slowly we can set the goal to meet out this particular crisis also. Then we thought of including some of the features in the present robot, but we failed. Then we thought that we can make a dedicated robot for this purpose, so that it will be very, very simple rather than including many of the algorithms and the sophisticated technologies. We can make a simple technology so that that can be scaled up easily and can be adapted by the hospitals easily, and the cost also will be less. So by keeping these things in the mind, and we started our research, and the first model we have developed within 45 days. The proof of concept we developed and we have demonstrated. Then after that, we find that so much of interactions between the different functions, many of the things we have faced, like many issues related to the feedback. That means initially when we try to deploy that robot in the hospital, we do not find the internet there.
Right.
That is unexpected problem that we face. Then we thought that why don't we have some local network, so that we have created local network, and then some problems we faced in that. Then we have moved towards the radio frequency mode, RF mode. So there are multiple options we gave to meet out that problem. So when we add some functionalities and multiple options throughout the design, we have to change everything. So when we change the communication model, accordingly we have to change the software module, electronics module, mechanical systems, everything should be changed. So that is the problem we faced. It is highly interdisciplinary. Whenever we try to change the payload, payload is another parameter that is suggested by the doctors. Initially we planned to have 8 kg payload, but doctors advised us to have that payload above 15 kg. It is just double. Then we have changed the actuators, motors. Initially, we thought of having a 20 Newton meter motor that can carry 8 kg payload, but then we moved to 60 Newton meter torque motor. It's just triple the value. Then completely we have changed the circuit, drive, everything we have changed. So this is how in the interdisciplinary project plans, when we do a project in this kind of pandemic situations where the shops and industries are completely locked, these kind of problems definitely will come. That is what I mentioned in my presentation, that design for emergency is a kind of art that everybody should learn. Maybe in future also it can come as a separate vertical, and we should learn how the different domains will interact, and within the available facilities, with the available resources, how we can focus on the project goals and how we are going to meet out the requirements, and how we can deploy that thing effectively in the short period of time. That's the challenge. I think we have done it effectively.
Brilliant. No, I completely agree. I think you've done a fantastic job there. You've mentioned scaling up, and we do have a question about that. But just before, I just want to touch back on the research aspect again. And we've had a question that says, did Renault Nissan become involved with the research to assist the speed of development, or were they always part of this research?
Yeah, see, they've supported the financial aspects of the product development, because initially we struggled for the financial aspects of the product. University has supported for a few models, a proof of concept, and the first robot that was supported by the university. Then to scale up that activities, we require funding for that. Renault Nissan has supported through their funding and different resources. They helped us to identify the various vendors, and they helped us to identify the manufacturing facilities to scale up the robots. Yeah, that way they helped us.
Brilliant. It's really great that you were already working with this organization, but using the current situation that everybody has come together and do that, and that's always something which we're looking at this network. I mentioned before that we had a question about scaling up. So we've got one that just says, you've talked about the ease of scaling up, but how far has it been scaled up so far across the region? And what are your expectations about this scaling up?
Yeah, we are getting many queries from various hospitals. Now we are planning for scaling up to the next phase. Yeah.
Brilliant. Great.
Yeah.
So a question I always like to ask on a purely selfish point of view is simply, how can a network such as WTUN assist with the work that you're doing, or how do you find that using networks and international organizations such as WTUN can help something like a technology university in the current pandemic with everything that's going on? So what are your experiences with it, and what would you like to see from the network moving forward?
Yeah. I think already we are working with many of the universities in the research and development of robotics and automation system. Definitely, we believe that WTUN will strengthen the relationships between the universities, member universities, and I hope that the people who are having a similar interest will join with us, and we can just scale up to the global level. Actually, we are planning in the local level, and we supply to the local hospitals. Now we are planning to extend it to the various places in India. But when we like to just scale up to the global level, I think we need support from the similar interest people who are in the university network, and we can join together. If there are opportunities, definitely we can take forward to the next level, and we can build many of the features and facilities based on their requirements, because we find that these are the requirements in Indian conditions. If the features are to be added, definitely it is possible with the help of those universities, and they can do some kind of research. Some delta X can be added with that robot to meet out their requirements, and a different version of the robots can be brought in to different places. I hope that that will help many of the medical frontline in future.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much. I know there was a lot of pressure to just handle the entire question panel by yourself there, so thank you very much for stepping in. But that's,
thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
The thing that happens when we try and do these live events. Thank you to everyone who joined us. As I said, we have had a few technical issues and we are having a bit of trouble getting our other two presenters on. I think it's best for us to perhaps just leave this there, and what we'll do is we'll postpone our other two speakers for another day. Those of you who have all registered and who've attended today will be in contact with you about when we rearrange for, because we do as a network feel like this is really important for us to use our platform to share our best practice, to share our stories and experiences, especially at a time like this when everybody in the world is going through something, but maybe something different. And that's, you know, one of the really big things that we always aim to do through something like the World Technology Universities Network. So I just want to say thank you again for joining us today. A special thank you to Dr. Dinakaran for taking the time to speak and share exactly what his team are doing, which I'm sure you will all agree is some really fantastic work, and also for all the questions as well. We're going to leave it there, but I will be in touch with you all soon with a date for our remaining two speakers, so I hope to speak to you all soon. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.